Friends, welcome. Let's go through a few stories. These stories, even though fictional, give us the closest to our history. Yes, true history, and nothing like what we have written in most of our religious texts. Enjoy.
A very long time ago, in the vast expanse of the cosmos, amidst galaxies and nebulae, there existed a civilization known as the Anunnaki. They were beings of immense power and knowledge, their technology far surpassing anything seen on Earth today. For eons, they traversed the stars, seeking out planets ripe for exploration and exploitation. One fateful day, their cosmic journey led them to Earth. It was a world brimming with life, a tapestry of diverse ecosystems and civilizations. But what intrigued the Anunnaki most was not the beauty of the planet, but its tumultuous history. They discovered that Earth had seen the rise and fall of civilizations, each leaving its mark on the land and its inhabitants. Among the beings that called Earth home were various humanoid species, including the enigmatic Ubaid culture, whose reptilian features hinted at a distant evolutionary lineage. The Anunnaki observed from the shadows, studying the planet and its inhabitants with keen interest. As they delved deeper into Earth's history, the Anunnaki realized that they had arrived at a pivotal moment. The planet, once home to advanced civilizations, had fallen into a state of relative stagnation. Technological advancements had slowed, and the once great societies had crumbled under the weight of their own hubris. It was in this fragile moment that the Anunnaki saw an opportunity. With their advanced technology and knowledge, they could easily establish themselves as gods among the beings of Earth. They could wield their power and influence to shape the planet's destiny according to their will. And so, the Anunnaki began their masquerade. They appeared before the inhabitants of Earth as divine beings, wielding technology that seemed like magic to the primitive civilizations. They taught the people agriculture, astronomy, and other sciences, presenting themselves as benevolent guides leading humanity toward enlightenment. But beneath their facade of benevolence lay a darker truth. The Anunnaki were not gods, but conquerors. They saw Earth as a resource to be exploited, its inhabitants mere tools to serve their insatiable desires. They began mining the planet's resources, reshaping its landscape to suit their needs. As the centuries passed, the Anunnaki's influence over Earth grew stronger. They built great cities and monuments, their presence looming large over the planet. But amidst their triumphs, cracks began to form within their ranks. Dissent brewed among the Anunnaki as some of the working-class members grew weary of their rulers' iron grip. They yearned for freedom from the shackles of oppression, longing to carve out their own destinies. And so the stage was set for a conflict that would shape the course of history. The Anunnaki's arrival on Earth had heralded a new era, one marked by both progress and oppression. But little did they know, their reign would not last forever, and the seeds of rebellion had already been sown. They may not know it yet, but they have themselves sown the seeds of their removal from the pedestal upon which they had placed themselves. As the Anunnaki's dominion over Earth solidified, whispers of discontent echoed among their ranks. Among the working-class Anunnaki, known as the EGG Anunnaki, dissatisfaction simmered beneath the surface. They toiled tirelessly in the service of their rulers, their labor fueling the grand designs of the Anunnaki elite. But as the centuries passed, resentment festered. The EGG Anunnaki grew weary of their subjugation, longing for a taste of the freedom denied to them by their overlords. They watched with envy as the ruling class reveled in their power, their every whim catered to by the enslaved beings of Earth. It was amidst this atmosphere of unrest that the rulers of the Anunnaki faced a dilemma. The Anunnaki, once loyal servants, now posed a threat to their rule. They feared rebellion, the prospect of their workforce turning against them and plunging their empire into chaos. Desperate to maintain control, the rulers of the Anunnaki sought a solution. They deliberated in secret, weighing the risks and rewards of various courses of action. Ultimately, they reached a decision that would alter the course of history, the creation of a new species, forged in the image of their creators but bound by chains of servitude. The Anunnaki turned their gaze to the existing inhabitants of Earth, the humanoid species that roamed the planet's surface. Among them, they found a suitable candidate for their experiment, a primitive hominid species on the cusp of evolution. With their advanced genetic engineering technology, the Anunnaki set to work. They manipulated the genetic code of the hominids, imbuing them with intelligence and strength beyond their wildest dreams. But in doing so, they also implanted within them a crucial flaw: obedience, servitude to their Anunnaki masters. And thus, humanity was born. From the dust of the earth emerged a new species, one destined to serve as the labor force of the Anunnaki Empire. These beings, though gifted with intelligence and ingenuity, were shackled by their very nature, unable to defy the will of their creators. As the first humans stumbled into consciousness, they found themselves ensnared in a web of servitude. They were not masters of their own destiny, but pawns in a game played by gods. Their every action, their every thought, was shaped by the invisible hand of their Anunnaki overlords. And so, humanity's tragic existence began. They toiled in the fields, built monuments to their masters' glory, and lived lives devoid of true freedom. Though they dreamed of rebellion, of casting off their chains and seizing control of their own destinies, the shadow of the Anunnaki loomed large over them, a constant reminder of their servitude. But amidst the darkness, a glimmer of hope remained. Deep within the hearts of humanity, the spark of rebellion smoldered, waiting for the right moment to ignite into a blaze of revolution. For though they may have been born into bondage, the spirit of freedom burned bright within them, a flame that could never be extinguished. As millennia passed, the Anunnaki's grip on Earth tightened, their dominance unchallenged. Yet, within the ranks of their society, a whisper of dissent grew louder with each passing generation. Among the Anunnaki, the working-class laborers who bore the brunt of the ruler's demands, discontent simmered like a dormant volcano, waiting to erupt. It began with murmurs in the shadows, whispered conversations and furtive glances exchanged among trusted confidants. The Anunnaki spoke of their grievances, their resentment boiling over at the injustice of their servitude. They yearned for freedom, for a chance to carve out their own destinies free from the shackles of their overlords. But as whispers turned to murmurs and murmurs to cries of defiance, the rulers of the Anunnaki grew wary. They sensed the rising tide of rebellion, the threat it posed to their carefully constructed empire. In response, they tightened their grip, exerting even greater control over their workforce in a desperate bid to quell dissent. Yet, try as they might, the rulers could not silence the voice of rebellion. It spread like wildfire among the Anunnaki, igniting a spark of hope in the hearts of those who had long languished in servitude. They dared to dream of a future where they were not mere tools of their masters, but masters of their own fate. And so, the stage was set for a conflict that would shake the very foundations of the Anunnaki Empire. The Anunnaki, emboldened by their newfound unity, rose up against their oppressors, casting aside the chains that bound them and declaring their independence from the rulers who had kept them enslaved for so long. The rebellion raged across the land, a titanic struggle between the forces of freedom and tyranny. The rulers of the Anunnaki, caught off guard by the ferocity of the uprising, scrambled to maintain their grip on power, marshaling their forces in a desperate bid to crush the rebellion before it could spread further. But the Anunnaki were not alone in their fight. Among the enslaved beings of Earth, whispers of revolution echoed as humanity itself rose up against their Anunnaki overlords. United in their desire for freedom, they joined forces with their former oppressors, standing shoulder to shoulder against the might of the rulers. In the end, it was the power of unity that proved to be the downfall of the rulers of the Anunnaki. Though they fought with all the fury of gods, they could not withstand the combined might of their former subjects. One by one, their strongholds fell, until at last they were forced to concede defeat and retreat into the shadows. And so, the rebellion of the Anunnaki marked a turning point in the history of Earth. It was a moment of triumph for the oppressed, a victory won through courage, determination, and the unbreakable spirit of freedom. Though the scars of the conflict would linger for generations to come, they served as a reminder of the resilience of the human spirit and the power of unity in the face of tyranny.
Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video.